Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my ongoing series on the Bhagavad Gita. I will begin with the 38th shlok of the second adhyaya of the Bhagavad Gita. So, for those people who are on this video, again, a friendly reminder to go back to the first video and watch these in chronological fashion so that they make some level of sense. We are at this stage where Bhagwan Krishna is reminding Arjun of his duties as a Kshatriya and why it is important for him to fight in this battlefield because it is the right thing to do. Thus, we begin with the Shlok 38, Adhyaya 2. सुख दुखे समे कृत्वा लाभा लाभो जया जयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमा पापमवाप्स्यसि. Okay, so fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by doing so, you shall never incur sin. Thus, Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells Arjun that, there was this great warrior in Japan. He was an expert swordsman. His name was Miyamoto Musashi. And he said something. He wrote this book, known as the Book of Five Rings, and he said he always talked about achieving a flow state. So when you're actually engaged in combat, right, you can never think because you just have to react. You can only think in small moments. And by the way, if you interview any UFC fighters or fighters who combat fighters essentially who do mixed martial arts, they'll also tell you that when you're actually engaged in unarmed, brutal combat with someone, you don't have time to think. You just have time to react. So you're fighting mostly on instinct, which has been trained into you by all those hours spent in the gym. So this is a flow state. But what is the correct mentality to achieve this flow state? And here Bhagavan Shri Krishna expands on that. That whenever you're fighting, just focus on the act of fighting. In that moment, don't think about are you happy or unhappy. Don't think whether you will win or lose. What do you have to gain or what do you have to lose? Don't think about any of that. If you just surrender yourself to your duty as a warrior and just engage in combat, that is the way to proceed. And by doing this, you will not incur sin. ईशा तो भेता संख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे विमाम शृणु शृणु बुद्ध्याय युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्म बंध prahasyasi. That is, thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. So I will read a bit of the description or the purport that is being given in this book. So it says that according to Nikruti or Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means means that which describes in detail, and Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul. Yoga involves controlling the senses. So yoga, I think when foreigners or even sometimes some Indians, when they hear yoga, they almost always associate it with a bunch of poses and a bunch of like just essentially being in a room and doing a bunch of asana. Then that's actually yogasana. So it is those specific positions that you attain while doing yoga. So yoga is not. So what yoga means to Western people and yoga, what actually means is there's a big difference between those two concepts. So yoga essentially, as it refers to here, is control of the senses, and that is why, like Lord Shiva, Bhagavan, who's the god of destruction in Hinduism. He is known as Adi Yogi, whereas Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj from Maharashtra is known as Shriman Yogi. So essentially, people, great men who control their senses, right? They are often known as yogi because that is what they do. They master their senses, which allows them to perform great tasks. Now, Sank, now, and yeah, that's So this is what Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling him, that okay, thus far I have explained it. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna talks about how he explained it to him through Buddhi Yoga. So Buddhi Yoga essentially is by analytically convincing someone through an intellectual argument or something like this, and henceforth he attempts to describe to him in further detail the true nature of things. And what Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling Arjun is that when you act in knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. So this is a very deep and profound concept, right? And what exactly it means, I will explain it as the Bhagavad Gita continues, and it will be explained to me as well by Bhagavan Shri Krishna through the Gita. So, Shlok 40. Neha bhikra manashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpama pyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. That is, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Now, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is talking that, okay, whenever you are engaged in the battlefield, you are engaged in bloody combat, it is very natural to feel terrified, right? However, Bhagavan Shri Krishna compels Arjun or asks him to act in knowledge. And he says that if you act in knowledge, then in this endeavor you will not lose things, and that if you truly act in knowledge, then this will protect your mind from being distracted in battle, and it will protect you from being terrified on the battlefield. uh, व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि रेकेह कुरुनंदन बहुशाखा ह्यनन्ताश्च च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम. That is, those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. Now, what exactly does Bhagwan Shri Krishna mean by this? So he's compelling Arjun to act in knowledge and to truly know and understand the nature of divinity, to understand his role as a Kshatriya upon this earth, to truly understand his purpose in life, and to truly know what dharma is. And if Bhagavan Shri Krishna believes that if Arjun understands all of that, if he knows all of that, there is no need for Arjun to feel any kind of fear. And one thing that struck me, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So often you find people who are brilliant in one thing, they're absolute geniuses. But then you find that despite being this knowledgeable, this intelligent, they are in some ways limited because they have domain expertise, but outside of their domain they don't know much about the world. And I think that's a pity, because if you truly wish to develop your intelligence, and if you truly wish to have profound knowledge, then it's important to do intellectual exploration of a wide variety of different topics, because that is how you gain true knowledge in life. You can't say, oh, I love science, I'll be a scientist, and I'll just do science and not pay much attention to the rest of the branches of human intellectual endeavor, and be in some sense dismissive of those. Initially, when I was a stupid stupid teenager, I must confess to having had those thoughts. But it was later in life that I realized the importance of philosophy, and realized the importance of art, and so on and so forth. It took me some time, and I realized to some extent that was my own ego, because I did not know much about things, and so I just dismissed them. So this is what I believe true intelligence is. It is being multifaceted, and even if you don't know everything about everything, because no human being can, it is important to know at least uh, some basic things about a wide variety of things. It gives you a diverse perspective, and you can always use knowledge that you learn from other fields in your specific domain. Like example of science from science would be that if you truly understand the fundamental principles of physics, then chemistry you can understand chemistry intuitively. Similarly, if you understand the fundamental principles of chemistry, you can understand biology at a fundamental sense. And if you want to act in life, then it is important to know history and philosophy, because you learn about human behavior and the human behavioral patterns. Anyway, in this, I conclude this particular video of the Bhagavad Gita at Shlok 41. And guys, I hope you will join me in this journey as I explore my way through the Bhagavad Gita. It has been extremely amazing for me. It has given me great. It has given me this opportunity to read and discuss the Gita with you guys. Let me know in the comments whether you enjoy these videos. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, and Jai Shri Krishna.